Buenos días, es el lunes y son las 12. Hello everyone, it's Monday and it's 12 o'clock, so it's time for our first Community Spanish of this week. Broadcasting Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 12. We have Community French on Tuesday and Thursday mornings at 8:30. Community Mandarin on Mondays and Thursdays at 12:30. And also have our kids programming for Spanish and French. Spanish in the mornings at 11:30, Monday through Thursday. And kids French in the evening time, Monday through Wednesday at 8 o'clock. So tune into that. We also have our Instagram Live going on. So there's even more content over there, including Portuguese, which is not a language that we offer on our Facebook Live programming. So there's hopefully a little bit for everyone. A couple of reminders before we get into our video for today. So it is the first full week in October, so it means that our October classes are starting this week. There's still a last minute shot that you'll be able to get into a class if you'd like to join one. So feel free to reach out to us if you're still interested in looking at that. And otherwise, we're planning to upload our November class schedule by the end of this week. So that information will be available shortly if you'd like to sign up for an upcoming class in November. A couple of other exciting things to note. So one of them is that we did on last Friday launch our new round of discounts that we have that we're offering to basically people who have done service, and we have offering this discounts to people who have done Teach for America, who have done the Peace Corps, or also who are military veterans. And so this is for either current active members of these groups, or even if you've already finished service, you can use this discount, and it's 25% off of a group class. So it's a pretty good chunk. So we wanted to spread the word about that. So feel free to use that discount yourself if any of those groups apply to you, or to pass it on to anyone who you think it might apply for. And then the last thing I wanted to mention before we get into our video for today is that we have an upcoming virtual event for Spanish speakers, a kind of casual event where we're going to just practice speaking Spanish. There might be a topic of conversation, might be a general conversation. It could be for the future, we have the idea to maybe talk about a movie or a book or something kind of culture related. So this is the first event we're offering in this new series of these monthly events on Zoom that we're going to be hosting. And it's an hour-long event. And so the first one we're hosting is for Spanish, coming up on Tuesday, October 20th, from 5:30 to 6:30 Eastern time, Boston time. And it only costs $5 to attend, and pretty much all levels are welcome. We think that it's probably better if you have at least some Spanish under your belt so you can really participate in the event, but really everyone is welcome to join. So we are excited to launch this and have our first event in this new series. And we're hoping that, assuming it goes well, we'll offer more events for Spanish, but also be able to offer more events for other languages too. So it's kind of just the launch of this program. So we're really excited about that coming up. So without further ado, let's get into the video for today. So today, it's another video in my new series of Repaso, or review, where basically we're just going to be doing some review exercises to practice different topics that we've learned over the span of time that we've been making these live videos. So today's topic, we're going to be focusing on AR verbs in the present. So we have a couple of practice exercises to do together. So let's get to that. So we have here our first exercise. And so again, we're focusing in on AR verbs today. And so just to do a quick reminder of how we work with AR verbs before we get into the content of this exercise. So for AR verbs, and again, we're talking about present tense, so speaking about now or things that are happening in general. What we're going to do is take the verb in the infinitive, or the kind of neutral form, which in this case will end with an AR. And then what we need to do is we need to transform this to be able to make it agree with different people who we want to use. So again, the form with AR is just a kind of general basic form of the verb, but then we need to change the verb in order to use it with different specific people. Like if it's yo for I, or tú for you, or él, ella, usted for he, she, or you formal. So here we're going to be practicing the different endings that we need to know that go along with AR verbs. And so the one we're focusing on for this first exercise is focusing only on the yo form. So as you can tell from the examples in the box, that if it's yo form and it's an AR verb, it means we're going to end the yo form with an o. So we're going to start with the infinitive, which is in this case is estudiar. Then we're going to take off that infinitive ending, the AR, and add back the ending that is specific to yo, to I, and add o. So that's what we're going to be practicing in this first exercise. Por favor, escribes tus respuestas en los comentarios abajo. So please feel free to write your answers in the comments below as we go through the exercise, so you can participate and practice with me, and I can see how well it's going for you. So let's get into it. So we're going to start with número uno. So we're translating these sentences from English into Spanish. Okay, so we have first one, I study English. Okay, I study English. So we want to take the form for I study, which we can see in the box, is yo estudio, and pair it with the right vocab word. So in this case, we can see from our chart that English is inglés in Spanish. So número uno, number one, yo estudio inglés. Yo estudio inglés. Easy, right? And you will note that languages in Spanish are not capitalized. So in English, we must capitalize all languages. In Spanish, all of them are lowercase. And we can see this difference here, right? When we look at the first example with English and inglés, that inglés is not capitalized and English is. So keep note of that. That is correct, that it should not be capitalized in Spanish. Okay, número dos. I don't study math. I don't study math. So here we're using the negative, which is yo no estudio. Okay, yo no estudio. So here we're making negative by putting the word no in front of estudio. So yo no estudio. Then we need the vocabulary word for math. We can see in our chart here is matemáticas. This one, this one is good practice. So por repite después de mí, matemáticas. Matemáticas. That strong with accent in the middle. Okay, so matemáticas. So our sentence is going to be, yo no estudio matemáticas. Matemáticas. Okay, and you notice this one, just like the languages, the subject is not capitalized here in Spanish. Número tres, I study Spanish. Okay, I study Spanish. Yo estudio, and we can see the word for Spanish in Spanish, which we all should know at this point, is español. Español. This one, as I write it out, I'm going to just write the N with a capital because my keyboard in this video program that we're doing, that if I try to make the NY with the little squiggly, it makes the computer have issues. So I'm going to just go around it and just put the N in a capital just to make put attention there. That should be NY. So for español. Okay, número cuatro. I don't study geography. Now we're using the negative option again. Yo no estudio. And geography, we have to find this one in our chart of options. We have geografía. Geografía. Make sure with the pronunciation of that one. Also, this is a good one for us to practice here too. So repeat this with me. Geografía. Geografía. So you can see there's quite a difference here in how we're pronouncing these two G's in Spanish. The first one is a H sound, and the second one is the hard G sound. So geografía. If you need a little review on this one, feel free to check out the alphabet video I made, where we reviewed the different ways to pronounce the letter G in Spanish and why it does what it does. Okay, so back to our sentence. Número cuatro, I don't study geography. Yo no estudio geografía. Yo no estudio geografía. Número cinco, I don't study English. Again, using our negative. Yo no estudio inglés. Yo no estudio inglés. Number six, I don't study Spanish. Yo no estudio español. Yo no estudio español. Number seven, I study math. So now in the positive, so yo estudio, and the word we practiced pronouncing before, matemáticas. 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 Okay, número 8. I studied geography and Spanish. So now we're going to use two subjects, as in two school subjects, not subjects in the grammar sense. So I studied geography and Spanish. So again, using the positive of yo estudio geografía y español. Okay, so two subjects connected by y. Y is the word for and in Spanish. Okay, yo estudio geografía y español. Okay, número 9. Two more to go in this exercise. I don't study Spanish and English. I don't study, so we're using the negative. We've been practicing. Yo no estudio Okay, Spanish and English. Español y English. Don't forget that E in between to connect these two school subjects. All right, last one, número 10. I study math, Spanish, English, and geography. So here we have 4 school subjects that we're including. So for número 10, so we're using the positive, affirmative. So yo estudio. And then we need these 4 vocab words. So we're starting with matemáticas, español, inglés, y last one, geografía. Okay, so yo estudio, and let's repeat that one together. It's good practice on the pronunciation here. So yo estudio matemáticas, español, inglés y geografía. Okay, excelente, excelente. All right, that's one exercise. Now we're going to do one other quick exercise together before we wrap this video up. So, whereas that one is for practicing with yo, now we're going to practice a little bit with the él, ella, usted form. Okay, so as we practice with the yo, we saw that if it's yo form, it has to end with o for in like estudio. Okay, but if we're using it to go with él, ella, usted, then we have to use a different ending, which in this case we can see from our chart is ah. Okay, so this is what we're practicing this exercise, to change the endings to go with the right people. So let's do it. Vamos. Número 1, he studies English. He studies English. Okay, so let's see for this one. So we have él, and this is a positive one. Él estudia, and we have to use the word for English, which as we know quite well by now is inglés. So él estudia inglés. Very good. As we did the first exercise, I think this one you can whip through it even faster because now we're getting comfortable with this concept and we're comfortable with this vocabulary. So, él estudia inglés. He does not study math. So just like we practiced with the yo form, we're going to just add no in front of the verb and that makes it negative. So we have él no estudia matemáticas. Él no estudia matemáticas. Número 3, she studies Spanish. Now we're using, instead of él, we use ella for she. So, but the verb itself doesn't change because él and ella share the same kind of grammar part. So they're going to use the same endings. But we do have to make sure we specify the word él or ella to describe he or she. Okay, so she studies Spanish. Ella estudia, as we know very well by now, español. Ella estudia español. 4, she does not study geography. So here another negative. So ella no estudia geografía. Muy bien. Okay, ella no estudia geografía. She doesn't study geography. Next, número 5. He does not study English. So in the first one we had positive. He studies English. Now we're saying he does not study English. So él no estudia inglés. Él no estudia inglés. She does not study Spanish. Okay, she does not study Spanish. This is for número 6, number 6. She does not study Spanish. Ella no estudia español. Número 7, we're getting down there. We have only a couple more to go. He studies math. Él, right? Él for he. Él estudia matemáticas, our new favorite vocab word, which is any syllables to say. Él estudia matemáticas. She studies geography and Spanish. Okay, so we have 3 more to go. She studies geography and Spanish. 2 subjects, 2 school subjects. Ella estudia geografía, y, again, remember that E to connect, say and, y español. Ella estudia geografía y español. Okay, número 9, 2 más, 2 more to go. Número 9. He does not study Spanish and English. Él no estudia Spanish and English. Español y inglés. Okay, last one. She studies math, Spanish, English, and geography. So we have all 4 subjects together. So she studies, as we know by now, is ella estudia, right? Math, Spanish, English, and geography. So matemáticas, our first vocab word, matemáticas, español, inglés, and the last one, y, so and, geografía. Y geografía. Muy bien. Okay, so I know the structure of these are pretty repetitive, but that is definitely on purpose. The idea is that kind of the more, and it seems very kind of simple, but it is simple, but it works. The more you repeat the same structures, the more that you will actually internalize what you're learning. Just like the more you think, you say something out loud, the more you write it down, all these things will help you to learn all these concepts. And so that way it makes it easy for your brain to understand the structure of how it works. And so that way when you want to start speaking, you just basically need to plug in the elements that you need to make your own original sentences. And by practicing this kind of form again and again, it helps your brain learn this order. And that way you can just use it easily. And it makes it much simpler for you to actually start speaking when you want to start speaking. Obviously, here we're just doing some practice exercises on paper. But when you actually want to speak, by having studied this kind of formula, it helps your brain to then put these elements together in your mind, and it's easy for you to make sentences. So that's why we practice doing things in this kind of formula of way. So I hope you found that helpful. There are many other exercises if you want to get more practice on our website on rolalanguages.com, where you can find not only links to all of these videos that we have made, so it's a nice kind of organized little library so you can find what you need, but also we have lots of other exercises there to keep practicing in addition to what we're doing in the videos. So I welcome you to go check that out. And see if you find some exercises that are helpful to you, or some exercises you want to pass along to someone else who you know maybe they're struggling with a certain concept, or they just need a little bit more reinforcement, then you're welcome to share those resources. So feel free to check that out there on our website, in addition to all the other content that we have, whether it's our class schedules, it's about this upcoming Zoom event that I mentioned, about the discounts. We have all that stuff is all up on our website. So feel free to check it all out there. And until next time, I'll see you on Wednesday at 12. Gracias y adiós.